First at 11, should a vaccine mandate apply to students? It's something Portland Public Schools is discussing. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter. Parents got to weigh in tonight during a virtual town hall. Our Alma McCarty listened in on their concerns. Alma?
Well, late last month, board members heard from health experts and questioned them thoroughly about possible vaccination requirement for students 12 and older in the district. Tonight, they listened to families. Some parents went as far as to say, should a requirement go into place, they'd remove their students from Portland Public Schools.
On the first night of town halls, mixed reaction from PPS parents on a possible vaccine requirement for eligible students. Some praised the district for proposing this policy. Others opposed it, calling it a personal choice, not one that should be mandated by public schools.
I'm just really worried and scared about what's going to happen if it is a mandate.
For the 12 and older, I think there is good evidence that vaccines are good for our population and that the more people we have vaccinated, the better.
We're better off trying to encourage people to get the vaccine if they feel it's appropriate for them.
If you're already planning to put this vaccine mandate into effect, my daughter is not going to go to school in PPS.
But I am pro-vaccination and I am pro-mandate for the schools for 12 and up.
This should be a personal decision, should be a family decision, and should be private.
I care about my community. I want people to be safe, and I'm glad people have the choice to have the vaccine if that's what feels right to them. But to me, it just feels like such a personal, private medical decision.
The foundation that's needed for equity is to have kids in school and consistently, and to have teachers in school consistently. And I believe that a mandate for the vaccine would help with this.
School board member Gary Hollins told parents their minds are not made up.
I just want to make sure that we're getting the right information out. The decision has not been made, and that's why we want to listen to what you guys are saying.
District staff tell KGW News that following these listening sessions, the board will discuss everything pertaining to a vaccine requirement at the October 26th meeting. Then, if the board decides to move forward with it, they'd consider and vote at the November 2nd meeting.
There are two more listening sessions about the mandate. Both are on Thursday. The first is for Spanish-speaking PPS families at 9 a.m. The second is exclusively for students. Parents can still weigh in by writing to the district and the board.
Lots more to come. Thank you, Alma. As far as staff at PPS, their deadline to get vaccinated was yesterday. More than 96% are fully vaccinated. But we did learn the district terminated 5 teachers, 7 paraeducators, 16 custodians, 6 nutrition staff, and 3 transportation drivers. All did not get vaccinated or have an exemption approved. We're also working to get more numbers statewide for Oregon and Washington on the number of people out of a job over the vaccine mandate. Washington State Police, for example, are losing 127 people. And while the agency says it will manage, there will be fewer troopers on the road. Tim Gordon has the update.
I want to stress these were not disciplinary terminations in any way. These were folks who took a principled stand from their perspective and just could not live with the vaccine mandate.
Washington State Patrol spokesperson Chris Loftus is talking about the people you see here. They are some of those fired by the agency who were making a statement on the steps of the state capitol in Olympia today. On Monday, a total of 127 Washington State Patrol employees lost their jobs over the vaccine mandate. Of the 127, 53 were civil servants, including dispatchers, office workers, and mechanics, and 74 were commissioned officers, 67 troopers, 6 sergeants, and 1 captain. Behind every one of those numbers is a person, like the trooper we talked to yesterday just after he was fired.
I'm going to miss everyone in that building. Best people in the world.
Whatever we think of the reasons people aren't willing to get this vaccine, the pain of losing a job is real.
The unfortunate cost right now is the loss of careers of some really good people. That said, COVID's a killer. And the scientists are telling us that the more people who are vaccinated, the sooner we're going to have COVID behind us.
Fully staffed, the Washington State Patrol has about 2,200 employees, 1,100 being commissioned officers. The agency was down to just over 1,000 officers working before the mandate deadline. Losing 74 more brings the total number of troopers and command staff for the entire state to 938.
What do you think that's going to do for public safety in our area?
I'm honestly scared. I don't know. It's daunting and staggering to me.
Richard Thompson was fired from his job as a WSP sergeant on Monday. He says the number of jobs lost over the vaccine mandate is higher than the state is acknowledging, with others quitting or retiring because of the mandate over the past few months. One thing we know for sure, roughly 440 WSP employees applied for exemptions and about 400 were granted, but WSP says it found accommodations for only 40 to keep their jobs. For those vaccinated and still on patrol,
we say thank you. We also say, let's stay safe.
And until more troopers are trained and hired, WSP says they'll be making adjustments to make sure that the whole state is covered. In Clark County, Tim Gordon, KGW News. Despite the vaccine mandate, a small fire department in Oregon has actually gained volunteers. Warrenton's mayor wrote a letter to the governor a while back saying he was worried the mandate would make volunteers leave. That would have made his community more vulnerable to emergencies. But he says 99% of the department is now vaccinated.
And a lot of people put aside their personal beliefs and got the shot because, once again, they're putting service above themselves.
Only one person was let go because they didn't get vaccinated, but 5 new volunteers stepped up to join the department. Warrenton's mayor says some other rural fire departments, however, are not seeing the same trend and are having to scale back operations. Now let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. We learned the man shot and killed by Clark County deputies was 28-year-old Kafin Carew. Deputies say they tried to stop his car Sunday morning, but he wouldn't pull over. They were able to force him to stop after a chase. Deputies say Carew pointed a gun at them, and that's when they shot him. The deputies involved are on critical incident leave. Less than a half a mile down the street from where that police shooting happened Sunday, there was another shooting tonight. This was on Northeast 49th near 130th Avenue. Vancouver police say shots were fired, but no one was hurt. One person is in custody. This drew a large police response because of a crowd of people that were gathered near the scene. Happening now, you'll see rolling closures over the Morrison Bridge in Portland. Work started at 10 o'clock tonight and will last until about 2 tomorrow morning. Crews are reprogramming the motor which helps the drawbridge go up and down. So they need to lift the bridge to do the work. Cars will be allowed through while the bridge is down. And today marks 5 years since a massive explosion happened on Northwest 23rd in Portland. 8 people were hurt. 1 building was destroyed and several others were damaged. The blast was caused by a construction crew that cut a gas line. There are still 6 lawsuits pending in the case, 4 of them from people who were injured. A new apartment building with businesses on the bottom now replaces the block that was destroyed. New tonight, a car went up in flames while parked in Portland's South Waterfront neighborhood. This is video from a witness, and it has the owner very suspicious about what happened. Here's a closer look at that video. The car was in front of the Strand condos, a block away from South Waterfront Park. The fire eventually got so big, it spread to a tree and a second car. The video shows a person walking around the car while it's on fire. The owner suspects that person at least knows something about what happened.
It's terrible. I mean, the fact that I was parking in a nice neighborhood like this, I never assumed anything would happen to my car in this area. I'm in the South Waterfront next to a top-of-the-line apartment building.
Graham tells us he did file a police report and says at least the car was insured. Portland Public Schools is looking to hire and retain a more diverse group of school leaders. A new grant should help them do that. This month, the district received an $8.2 million grant from the Wallace Foundation. The grant will help hire aspiring administrators and provide more mentorship and coaching. And the program will make sure candidates are diverse with a commitment to racial equity and social justice.
fact, it's also important that our students and our school communities see a diversity in our educators and in our school principals. I don't think it's okay for a student of color to go through their pre-K-12 experience and never see an educator or leader who looks like them.
The grant money will also help Portland Public Schools work with local universities to build up the candidate pool with the goal of developing more leaders of color.